The sun had barely risen when the mist rolled through the village fields, turning everything ghostly pale. Roosters called from distant huts, cows shook off the dew, and the world felt calm. A young boy ran along the narrow dirt path, his bare feet kicking up dust. He was chasing a fluttering piece of cloth that the wind had stolen from his mother's laundry line. The morning was quiet, except for the sound of his laughter. But just beyond the tall grass, something moved. A pair of golden eyes followed every step he took. The grass trembled as a small figure crept forward. A baby tiger, its orange fur glowing faintly in the mist. It was barely a few months old, but curiosity burned in its eyes. It stepped out of the grass. The boy stopped, frozen. For a heartbeat, the two just stared at each other, child and cub, breathing the same misty air. The cub tilted its head, its tail swishing slowly. Then, to the boy's shock, it took a step closer. The boy's heart pounded. He should have run, but he didn't. Something about the cub didn't feel dangerous yet. He turned and walked toward the village. The cub followed. At first, it seemed harmless. The cub padded along silently, almost playfully, its paws leaving tiny prints in the wet soil. But the boy didn't know what lurked deeper in the forest, because where there's a cub, there's a mother. And the mother was already looking. Back at the village edge, the boy's grandmother saw him first, but before she could smile, her face went pale. Behind him, out of the mist, she saw stripes. She screamed. The sound tore through the village like a warning bell. People dropped their baskets, ran out of their huts, and shouted for the boy to stop. The cub froze, startled by the noise, and crouched low to the ground. That was when the real danger arrived. From the tree line, a deep roar shook the air. Birds exploded out of the branches. Goats bolted, and women grabbed their children. The mother tiger had emerged. She was massive, her golden coat gleaming in the sunlight, breaking through the mist. Her ears were pinned back, her tail lashed, and her eyes were locked on the humans. The boy stood in shock, too frightened to move. The cub squeaked, running back toward its mother. The villagers didn't waste a second. A group of men rushed forward, banging metal pots and shouting at the top of their lungs, trying to scare the tiger back. The sound echoed off the trees, a wall of noise meant to break the predator's focus. But the tiger didn't leave. She took one slow, deliberate step forward. The air was electric. Even the birds went silent. Every person knew that if she charged, no fence, no stick, no scream could stop her in time. The boy's father grabbed him, pulling him back toward the huts. But the tiger's eyes followed every movement. Then something unexpected happened. The cub rubbed against its mother's legs, as if reassuring her. It wasn't afraid anymore, just curious. The mother tiger lowered her head, sniffed the ground, and let out a low rumble that was almost a growl, almost a sigh. The men kept shouting, but softer now, careful not to provoke her. Step by step, the tiger turned. She gave one last look at the villagers, her golden eyes glowing, and disappeared into the trees with her cub close behind. The silence that followed was deafening. Only when they were sure she was gone did the villagers rush forward, surrounding the boy, hugging him as if he had returned from the dead. The boy clutched his father's leg, his small chest heaving. He had been inches away from disaster, and somehow, he was alive. That morning, the village learned something important. Fear can save you, but panic can destroy you. They hadn't fought the tiger. They had faced her calmly, loudly, together, and it had been enough. The boy never forgot that moment. Years later, he would tell the story of the morning when a tiger came to the village and left without taking anything, not even a life. And maybe that's the lesson for us. Danger can come quietly, unexpectedly, like mist rolling in at dawn. But if we stand together, stay calm, and face it without fear, we might just see the day end without tragedy. Now, this is a story that's been told and retold around campfires, whispered between farmers at sunset, a tale as old as the hills themselves. You might think it's just a story, but in truth, it's a mirror reflecting our own fears and choices. The mist, it wraps the village in mystery, hides the tiger's approach, making the danger seem all the more real. Just like in life, sometimes danger sneaks up on us when we least expect it, hidden in plain sight. The boy's innocence is our window into the story. His laughter echoing in the morning mist symbolizes the simplicity and joy of life before the chaos arrives. His chase after the cloth in the wind mirrors our own pursuit of happiness. Often carried away by the whims of life, unaware of what's lurking around the bend. When the tiger cub appears, curiosity is sparked. It's a symbol of the unexplored, the unknown that draws us in. In life, we're often drawn to what's mysterious, what's different. The cub represents that pull, that urge to understand or experience something beyond the ordinary. The moment the cub steps out of the grass, the narrative takes a sharp turn. The boy's sudden stillness, the frozen moment of their eye contact. It captures the feeling of dread and uncertainty that can grip us. When confronted with the unexpected, these few moments are a turning point, a decision to move forward or to retreat. The boy's choice to keep going is a metaphor for facing our fears, moving ahead despite the uncertainties that lie ahead. The village, It's not just a setting, it's a community, a microcosm of our society. The villagers' initial tranquility mirrors the peace and order we seek in our lives. Their routines and chores symbolize the everyday aspects of living, the comfort of familiarity. When the tiger enters the village, the rhythm is shattered. The noise, the commotion, the terror it spreads, mirrors the impact of major disruptions in our lives. A crisis, an unexpected event that throws everything into chaos. This intrusion shatters the illusion of safety, exposing the raw emotions that lie beneath. The villagers' reactions highlight the spectrum of human response to fear. Some freeze, some panic, some try to protect. It's a reminder that in the face of danger, people respond in diverse ways, each valid in its own context. The mother tiger, she's a force of nature, powerful, protective, driven by instinct. Her roaring presence shakes the very foundations of the village, emphasizing the overwhelming force of nature, of maternal love in this case. She's a reminder that there are forces beyond our control, beyond our understanding, that demand respect and caution. The boy's proximity to the tiger, his vulnerability, makes us empathetic. We feel his fear, his helplessness. It's a reminder of the fragility of life, of how quickly the balance can tip from joy to terror. It's a stark portrayal of our own mortality, a mirror held up to our deepest fears. The final confrontation, though, it's not just a physical one. It's a battle of wills, of survival instincts. The tiger's deliberate movements, the villagers' united front, it creates a palpable tension, a standoff where every move is crucial. The tiger's eventual retreat, though it's not a surrender, it's a recognition of an unwinnable battle, a wise choice to disengage. It speaks to the power of unity, of standing your ground, of not backing down. The tiger doesn't lose, it simply chooses to walk away. In the aftermath, the village comes together, united by a shared experience, bound by the knowledge that they faced a common enemy together. The relief, the joy, the gratitude, it's a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, the strength found in unity. This isn't just a story of a tiger in the village. It's a narrative of life's unpredictability, of courage in the face of fear. It's a reflection of our relationship with the natural world, a reminder of our place in the grand scheme of things. It's a parable for our times, a story that continues to resonate because it mirrors the challenges and choices we face every day.